Students, welcome back to one more session of our English class. Today we are going to start our third lesson of third unit, that is Stephen Hawking. Okay, my dear students, so let's start. Before starting the lesson, we will start with warming up session. Okay, my dear students, so you can see the pairs are given to you. You have to match the prominent personality with disabilities. So first is of John Milton, the great English poet who became blind at the age of 43 years. Okay, my dear students. Second is Beethoven, the great German composer and musician who became deaf at the age of 28 years. Third is Stephen Hawking, famous scientist of the 20th century who was paralyzed. Fourth is Walt Disney, an American entrepreneur, animator, voice actor, and learning disability. Fifth is Albert Einstein, my dear student, great 20th century scientist and noted physicist who had learning disability. Next is Thomas Edison, great inventor who has over 1,000 patents, had learning disabilities and became deaf. He invented the bulb. Helen Keller was blind and deaf. Sudha Chandra, dancer whose legs had to be amputated because of an accident. Tanay Gray Thompson is a wheelchair racer. Franklin Roosevelt had polio and was elected as the President of the United States for 4 terms. Okay, my dear students. So, hope my dear students. Let's see our next warming up session, that is word building. Reduplication, the root stem of a word is repeated exactly the same or with a slight. For example, tweet, tweet, patter, patter, chit, chat, bang, bang, riff, raff. Okay. Blending, parts of two or more words combined to form a new one, that is breakfast plus lunch, brunch. Smoke plus fog is smog. Motor plus hotel, that is mortal. Okay, my dear students. So there are many words like of reduplication: tick-tock, tic-tac, bye-bye, knock, super-duper, zigzag, woogie-woogie. Okay, so it is reduplication, and blending is where we join two or more words to combine a new form. Okay, my dear students, as you can see, for example, blending Bombay plus Hollywood, Bollywood, hungry plus anger, hangry. Okay, television plus broadcast, telecast, lion plus tiger, liger, friend plus enemy, frenemy. Okay, so those are the new words we can name. Next is acronym. Words formed from the first letter of each of the words involved. For example, radar, scuba, UNICEF, NASA. BBC, CID, ATM, VIP. Okay, my dear students. Next is clipping. Reducing a word to one of its syllables or part of. For example, mathematics, maths, advertisement, ad, laboratory, lab. Okay, so we're reducing the word. For example, clipping means cafeteria, cafe, examination, exam, photograph means photo, refrigerator means fridge. Okay, my dear students, so we are reducing the one of its syllables and making a short form. Next is acronym. Words formed from the first letter of each of its words. For example, radar, scuba, UNICEF, BBC, CID, USA, ATM. Okay, my dear students. For example, National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA. Right, my dear students? CID, Central Investigation Department. USA means United States of America. BBC means British Broadcasting. VIP means very important person. Okay, my dear student. PM means Prime Minister. CM means Chief Minister. RAM means Random Access Memory. LOL means laugh out loud. ASAP, as soon as possible. So hope my dear students you have understood the warming up session. So let's start with our lesson about Stephen Hawking. My dear student, Stephen Hawking, 8 January, born in 8 January 1942. He is an English theoretical physics, cosmologist, author, and director of research at the Center of Theoretical Cosmology. Okay, my dear student. Okay, my dear students. At the Cambridge University, Hawking was the first to set out a theory of cosmology explained by a union of general theory of relativity and quantum machines. Hawking is an honorary fellow of the Royal Society of Arts, a lifetime member of the Pontifical Academy of Sciences, and recipient of the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian award in the US. This lesson gives us an insight about the great scientist, his life, and his work. So, my dear student, he is an English theoretical physics, cosmologist, author, and director research at the Center of Theoretical Cosmology within the Cambridge University. So, my dear student, first we will understand what is cosmology. So, cosmology is a branch of astronomy that involves the origin and evolution of the universe. Okay, my dear students. NASA has defined cosmology as a scientific study of the large-scale properties of the universe as a whole. So, he is first English theoretical. My dear student, theoretical physics. Theoretical means concerned with or involving the theory of subject or area study. Okay. My dear, he was a theoretical physicist. And he was the first to set out the theory of cosmology, my dear student. Okay, my dear student. Explained by union of the union of the general theory of relativity. Okay, my dear student. And theoretical physics means it is a branch of physics that employs mathematical models of physical objects, and it explains the natural phenomena. Okay, my dear students. And general theory of relativity and quantum machines. Now, my dear student, what is quantum machines? Quantum machines Quantum machine is a fundamental theory in physics that provides a description of the physical properties of nature. Okay, my dear students. So, hope, my dear student, you have understood about who was Stephen Hawking and which field he got famous. He proposed the theory of cosmology. Okay, and he have received the highest award in the US, in the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian award in the US. So this lesson gave us an insight about the great scientist, his life and his work. So let's start. Stephen Hawking, born on January 18, 1942, is a British scientist, professor and author who has done work in physics and cosmology. Cosmology means the science of the origin and the development of the universe, whose books have helped to make science accessible to everyone. At the age of 21, while studying cosmology at the University of Cambridge, he was diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, that is ALS. Part of his life story was depicted in the 2000 film The Theory of Everything. So, my dear students, Stephen Hawking was born on 8th January 1942. He is a British scientist, professor and author who has done work in physics and cosmology, that is the science of the origin and development. Because of him, it is very easy to us to get access to science related to it. At the age of 21, while studying cosmology at the University of Cambridge, he was diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. My dear student, if you want to understand in a detailed way, if you want to know about Stephen Hawking, you should watch The Theory of Everything. It is a movie which is based on Stephen Hawking. Okay, my dear students, so please, if you get time, my dear student, do watch this Theory of Everything. It is based on the life of the English scientist Stephen Hawking. Okay, my dear students, you will get to know in a very detailed way how he got this disease, okay, then how he conquered this disease and overcome this disease, and he became famous scientist of 20th century. Over the years, Stephen Hawking has written or co-written a total of 15 books. A few of the most noteworthy include: in 1998, Hawking catapulted to international prominence with the publication of A Brief History of Time. The short, informative book became an account of cosmology for the masses and offered an overview of space and time, the existence of God and the future. The work was an instant success, spending more than 4 years atop the London Sunday Times bestseller list. Since its publication, it has sold millions of copies worldwide and been translated into more than 40 languages. So, my dear student, over the years, Stephen Hawking has written many books. Of total 15 books, and most of the famous, a few most noteworthy is Hawking launched to international prominence the publication A Brief History of Time. This was his famous book. It is a very informative book, an account of cosmology, the universe, the origin of the universe for the masses, and it helped us to understand about space and time, to get a view, to imagine about space and time, the existence of God and the future. His work was an instant success, spending more than 4 years on the top of London Sunday Times bestseller list. Means for 4 years it was on the top list. Okay, this book, A Brief History of Time, was on the top list on the London Sunday Times. Since its publication, it has sold millions of copies and has been translated to more than 40 languages. A Brief History of Time also wasn't easy to understand as some had hoped. So in 2001, Hawking followed his book with the universe in a nutshell, which offer a more illustrated guide to cosmology victories. So some people felt, some critics felt that a brief history of time, when we read this book, Brief History of Time, it is not possible to understand the universe. So what Stephen Hawking did in 2001, he published his another book, that is The Universe in a Nutshell. So which help us to understand more clearly in a comprehensive ways about the cosmology's big theories. In 2005, Hawking authored an even more accessible Brief History of Time, which further simplified the original work, the central basic concept of the universe, which touch the new developments in the field of cosmology. String theory means a cosmology theory on the existence of cosmic string. Okay, my dear student. Together, these 3 books, along with the Hawking's own research and papers, articulate the physics' personal search for science, holy grail. Okay, my dear students. A single unifying theory that can combine cosmology, the study of big with quantum mechanics, the study of small, to explain how the universe began. It is a kind of ambitious thing that has allowed Hawking, who claim he can think in 11 dimensions, to lay out some big possibilities for humankind. He convinced that time travel is possible and that humans may indeed colonize other planets in the future. So, my dear students, Stephen Hawking tried to convince the people that time travel is possible. You know what is time travel? Where we can go back to the past and can set up things right. Okay, whatever mistakes we have done in the past, we can go in the past and we can correct it. That is known as time travel. Okay, and humans being can colonize, can start their life in other planets in the future also. This was the view of the Stephen Hawking. So together these three books, okay my dear students, Brief History of Time, The Universe in a Nutshell, okay, and okay my dear students, Hawking had his own research and papers, and he spread this his physics personal search for science, holy grail. What is holy grail? Thing which is eagerly pursued or sought after. Okay my dear students, and what he did, he combined the quantum, he combined the cosmology, the study of big, with quantum machine, the study of small, to explain that how the universe began. Okay my dear student, it's this kind of ambitious thinking that has allowed Hawking to claim and think in 11 dimensions mean aspects and future. Okay my dear students, in September 2010, Hawking spoke against the idea that God could have created the universe in his book, The Grand Design. Hawking previously argues that belief in a creator could be compatible with modern scientific theories. His new work, however, concluded that Big Bang was the inevitable consequence of the laws of physics and nothing more, because there is a law such as gravity. The universe can and will create itself from nothing. Hawking says spontaneous creation is the reason there is something rather than nothing. Okay, my dear students, so rather than nothing, why the universe exists, why we exist. So in September 2010, my dear students, Hawking spoke against the idea that God has created universe. He was of the view that God has not created this universe, God has not created this world. He's saying, my dear student, that he argued and he stated that he is of the belief that it could be possible to create God to create the world with modern scientific theories. Compatible means able to get along with. What was the view of the Hawking? Hawking argued and believed that in a creator, it is possible for a creator to get along with the modern scientific theories. Means God will be able to get along with the modern scientific theories. His new work, however, concluded being Big Bang. Now, what is Big Bang, my dear student? Listen carefully. The Big Bang theory is a cosmological model of the observable universe, okay, from the earliest known period. Okay, my dear student, this model describes how the universe expanded from the initial stage to high density to high temperature. Okay, my dear students, their observation, they are far away galaxies, the faster they are moving from Earth. So it is a cosmological, my dear student, model. So Stephen Hawking stated that Big Bang theory is inevitable. We cannot avoid. Inevitable means we cannot avoid. Unavoidable. Okay, my dear students. So the Big Bang theory is unavoidable consequence of the laws of physics, because there is a law of gravity, my dear student, right? Gravitational force. Universal can and will be can create itself from nothing. Means the universe has ability and capability to create life, to create many things, although it has nothing. Hawking said spontaneous creation means fast, voluntary creation is the reason there is something rather than nothing, why the universe exists, why we exist. The Grand Design was Hawking's first major publication in almost a decade. Within his new work, Hawking set out to challenge Sir Isaac Newton believed that the universe had to have been designed by God, simply because it could not have been born from chaos. It is not necessary to invoke God to light the blue touch paper and set universe going. Hawking said at the age of 21, Hawking was diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease. In a very simple terms, the nerves that control his muscles were shutting down. At the same time, doctors gave him 2.5 years to life. So, my dear student, his book Grand Design was the first major publication in a decade. Okay, with his new work, Hawking challenged Isaac Newton's belief that universe had to have been designed by God. Okay, so he challenged Sir Isaac Newton belief that the universe is designed by God simply because universe cannot be born from God. It is so. Stephen Hawking is saying, my dear student, it is not necessary to invoke God to light the blue touch paper and set the universe going. So Hawking said at the age of 21, he was diagnosed with ALS disease. In a very simple sense, nerves, nerves in the body that control the muscles were shutting down. That's why he got paralyzed, and doctors gave him a time of to live 2.5 years to live. My dear students, at the age of 21, he was diagnosed with this disease. He was given the time that he will live only for 2.5 years to live. My dear students, he died at the age of 76. Okay, so what he told, that it is not necessary to call upon for help. Okay, it is not necessary to invoke, means it is not necessary that we should ask for help from God to light the blue touch paper, to do something, to create something. Okay, my dear students, Hawking first began to notice problem with physical health while he was at Oxford. An occasion he will trip and fall or slur his speech. He didn't look at the problem until 1962. During the first time at Cambridge, for the most part, Hawking had kept the symptoms to himself, but when his father took notice of the condition, he took Hawking to see a doctor. For the next 2 weeks, the 21-year-old college student made his home at a medical clinic where he underwent a series of tests. So, my dear students, Hawking first began to notice problems. Some changes were coming in his physical, and when he was studying at Oxford, he used to fall, he used to sleep, he used to say not clearly. Hawking was not paying attention to this symptoms. Okay, but when his father saw this, he took him to a doctor. For next 2 weeks, this 21-year-old Stephen Hawking, college student, made his home a medical clinic, and he had to undergo a series of tests. They took a muscle sample from my arm, stuck electrodes into me, and injected some radio-opaque fluid into my spine, and watched it going up and down with X-ray as they tilted the bed. He once said, after all that, they didn't tell me what I had, except it was not multiple sclerosis, and that I was in a typical case. So they took muscle sample from his arm, they struck electrodes. So what is electrodes? Metallic pointer used in applying current, and they injected some radioactive kind of radiation like X-ray into his spine, and they saw what has happened to him, and they tilted him to bed. He was stuck on the bed. Okay, he was on the bed. After all, they did not tell me what has happened to him, except that he knew that it was multiple sclerosis. Now, what is multiple sclerosis? Abnormal hardening of body tissue, and that I was a typical case. But it is a very unusual case. Unusual case means from in the world, in this whole world, 1% of people suffer from this disease. So we call as unusual case. Eventually, however, doctors did diagnose Hawking with the early stages of ALS. Okay, they detected medical condition. It was devastating news for him and his family, but few events prevented him from becoming completely despondent. The first of this came while Hawking was still in hospital. There he shared a room with a boy suffering from leukemia. Relative to what his roommate was going through, Hawking later reflected his situation seemed more tolerable. Not long after he was released from the hospital, Hawking had a dream that he was going to be executed. He said this dream made him realize that there were still things to do with his life. So, my dear student, he was diagnosed, he was detected with the disease of multiple sclerosis. So it was a very devastating, shocking news to him and his family that he cannot get up from his bed. His whole body was paralyzed. There he was suffering there he was sharing a room and in that room a boy was suffering from leukemia. Okay, now leukemia is a disease, it's a progressive disease in which the bone marrow and the other blood from forming organs produce increased number of abnormal white blood cells. Okay, so when he saw this, when he saw his partner in this hospital room, Hawking reflected his situation and he thought he can conquer this disease. And he thought he had saw a dream that he is going to be executed. He means he is going to be taken to home. So he said this dream made him realize that there are more things in life to do. In sense, Hawking's disease helped him become the noted scientist he is today. Before the diagnosis, Hawking hadn't always focused on his studies. Before my condition was diagnosed, I had been very bored with life. He said they had not seen me anything with wording. With the sudden realization that he might not even live enough to earn his PhD, Hawking poured himself into his work and research. So my dear students, when he was very well, very good, very healthy, he did not focus on his studies. But when he was detected with this disease ALS, okay, he was, doctors had told him that he will not live long. So his main aim was, what was his main aim? To complete his PhD till he leaves. Before he gets died, he wanted to complete his PhD. So Hawking just poured himself, Hawking just worked hard in this work and research. As physical control over his body diminished, means he has always lost. Okay, he will be forced to use a wheelchair by 1960. In 1960, he started to use a wheelchair. The effects of disease started to slow down. Over time, Hawking's ever-expanding career was accompanied by an ever-worsening physical state. By the mid-1917, the Hawking family had taken in one of the Hawking's graduate students to help manage his care and work. He could still feed himself and get out of bed, but virtually everything else required assistance. In addition, his speech had become increasingly slurred, so that only those who knew him well could understand, and he lost his voice for good, allowing a tracheotomy. He also lost his voice, my dear students. An incision of the windpipe made to relieve an obstruction of breathing, okay, so that he can at least breathe. The resulting situation required 24-hour nursing care for his acclaimed physicist, physically based. It also put in peril, means serious and immediate danger to Hawking's ability to do his work. That this difficult situation, my dear student, caught the attention of a California computer program who had developed a speaking program that could be directed by head or eye. So the chair he is sitting, my dear students, was succeeded by a California computer programmer. It is a speaking program that could detect our head and eye, and we can whatever we want to say, it is seen on the computer screen. The invention allowed Hawking to select words on a computer screen that were then passed to a speech synthesizer. Okay, at the time of its introduction, Hawking, who still had use of fingers, selected his words with a handheld clicker. Today, with virtually all control of his body, Hawking directs the program to a cheek muscle attached to a center. Okay, so there is a sensor attached to his cheek muscle, and he has a speech synthesizer. He has, with the help of his finger, he select his words with the handheld clicker, and with the help of speech synthesizer, the words are seen on the screen. Through the program and the help of assistant, Stephen Hawking has continued to write a prolific rate. His work has included numerous scientific papers, of course, but also information from the non-scientific community. Hawking's health, of course, remained a constant concern, a worry that was heightened in 2000 when he failed to appear at a conference in Arizona because of his chest infection. In April, Hawking, who had already announced he was retiring after 30 years from the post of Lucasian Professor of Mathematics at Cambridge, was rushed to the hospital for being what university officials described as gravely ill. It was later announced he was expected to make a full recovery. My dear students, he died on 14th March 2018 at the age of 76 years old. Hope, my dear students, you have understood this lesson. Read the lesson carefully and thoroughly. If you want to understand in a more detailed way, in a very clear and comprehensive way, you can see the movie, The Theory of Everything. which is based on the life of the great scientist of the 20th century, Stephen Hawking. My dear students, read the lesson and complete your workbook. Okay, my dear students, if you have any problem or query related to completion of your workbook, any grammar questions, any questions which you are not able to understand, we will solve this query when we will meet. Okay, my dear students. Thank you, my dear student. Take care of yourself. Thank you.